If you're a brand selling on Amazon and you've ever seen a suppressed listing, you know that that can be a common headache that can lead to your listing not even being seen and ultimately hurting your sales on Amazon. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to find a listing that is suppressed, how to then fix it, and I'll dive into deeper the reasons of why your listing was even suppressed in the beginning so you can fix it and get your sales back on track for Amazon. So let's first talk about what is a suppressed listing on Amazon. Now, a suppressed listing on Amazon, that actually refers to when a listing is temporarily or even maybe permanently restricted from being showing up in your Amazon search results. And then it might even also be where it's not even available to purchase because it's suppressed. Now, this can happen for a variety of reasons. And there are other issues and sometimes even policy violations that Amazon is seeing happening, which is why they may suppress your listing or your offer. Now, these listings could range from everything from being the product listing is incomplete to there are maybe pricing errors. There's a product condition issue as well, where there's been complaints and discrepancies on the condition that you're selling it in. You could also even be having a violation of Amazon policies as well, which can then cause your listing to be suppressed. So like I said earlier, when a listing is suppressed, that means that when a customer is typing in to find a potential product like yours, it actually wouldn't show up in search results. So this is a huge deal when you're thinking about your products on Amazon. And if your listing is suppressed, I want to help you to fix it so that you can get it back up and running again. This also just impacts your brand's ability to be seen on Amazon and for searches, things like that. So let's first talk about what causes a suppressed listing on Amazon. I've kind of shared some of the most common reasons where you can have a suppressed listing on Amazon, and it's typically incomplete or inaccurate product information inside your listing. So like the back end of your listing. Now, this might have missing or even insufficient details, such as maybe there's product descriptions, there might even be images that are not added, especially that prime, that main image that is required. You could have attributions that you're missing or variations, a lot of different things. And sometimes Amazon even updates what they require for you to add into your listing. So a listing that could be completely filled out and everything is ready to go could actually at one point then get pulled and shown as a suppressed listing all of a sudden. So like I said, when the listings are lacking that main required information that Amazon is wanting by their standards, they can suppress your listing to really what they're trying to do is maintain the quality of the product, really the integrity of the marketplace on Amazon. So just keep that in mind. If you want to learn more about how to do a step-by-step creating a winning product listing on Amazon, make sure to watch my video here and you can learn more about how to set that up if you're looking at adding a new listing, a new product into Amazon, or you just want to learn more about what it takes for the information that you need to put into your listing. Because like I said, some of those pieces are actually missing and Amazon is almost forcing you to update it. And usually it is in the best interest of the customers. Plus, it'll typically be in your best interest as well, because this will help you not only get found, but it'll help you convert better on Amazon. And that's really why they're kind of suppressing your offer or your listing currently. And it's really they're suppressing your listing is what I'm referring to in this video. Other reasons for a suppressed listing could be there are pricing errors and they're suppressing it that way. Then you'll also see what's called a suppressed buy box, meaning there's no longer that quick add to cart button, and then you have to double click to even find an offer to buy, or a customer would, and it typically does hurt the conversion rates. That's a suppressed buy box. There can also be issues with the product condition. Like I said, if someone or multiple people keep complaining that the product looks like it's used and you're trying to sell it as new, if there's some kind of discrepancy happening, Amazon may say, okay, we're suppressing this until this issue is fixed. You also could be having some kind of issue with a violation of an Amazon product policy. So when you look into your account health, you'll want to see if there's any kind of numbers next to that kind of middle section that you see inside of your account health. If you see something other than a 0, and you see a 1, that could be the indicator of what is happening with your suppressed listing. Also, quality compliance issues. They're trying to make sure you are able to sell it or that there's no quality issues. So things like your negative customer experience is something really important to look at, to pay attention to make sure that they are getting the product that they think they are, that you're filling out any information that might be unclear on the listing currently, updating any images that need to be, anything like that. So this ultimately, like I said, is really in the best interest of the customers, but also you as a brand, because you do not want customers to continue to have a poor experience with your product and with your brand on Amazon. Also, there could be some performance metric issues going on and it's suppressing your listings, or there's an algorithm change. And we see this a lot too when there's maybe even shifts with new categories all of a sudden that didn't exist, that all of a sudden require new information that was not required before. And if that's something that they deem as this is needed, then they may suppress your listing because of that as well. So let's now dig into how to find a suppressed listing inside your Seller Central. I want this to be very practical for you so that you can also, by the end of this video, be able to fix your suppressed listing. Now, before I dive into how to resolve the suppressed listings, let's look at where to find those listings inside your Seller Central. You want to go to inventory from here, and then you'll also then hover over to the inventory tab in that top navigation menu, click manage inventory from the drop-down menu, and you're going to filter by what is suppressed on that manage inventory page. So you'll see a list of all of your active listings, but you're really going to want to look at that suppressed filter that's going to be showing on next to your listings. And you're going to click that filter to see more information about the listing that is suppressed. Now, after you apply that suppressed filter, the page will refresh. You're going to actually see a list of, like I said, those suppressed listings. Those are what are being currently hidden from Amazon search results, which is not good. You want them to show up in search results. You should have already done a lot of work on figuring out what keywords are even relevant for your product and for your brand. So you want to be showing up when people are typing in, especially for non-branded keywords, because that's how a lot of customers that are new to your brand will discover your product on Amazon. So the next step is you need to look at reviewing and addressing the issue that Amazon is saying of why it's suppressed. So you're going to want to click on the suppressed listing that you're going to first address. So if you have multiple listings, let's just look at one to begin with, and I'll walk you through an example. And you're going to look at the listing details page, and you can review here the reasons why they're saying it's suppressed. And also you can take action from this page as well to resolve the issues that are causing your listing to be suppressed. Now, if you haven't already, make sure to click that like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell as well so that you're the first to know when we drop a new video every week here on YouTube. So now let's talk about how to fix suppressed listings on Amazon. Now that we've figured out where to go to even see if something is suppressed or not, you've identified maybe one product that is currently suppressed. Let's figure out now how to actually fix that. Now, it's really about identifying and resolving what is that underlying issue that's causing the listing to be suppressed. Now, the detail page that we've navigated to earlier, it'll show you the specific reasons that your item, your product is suppressed. Now, here's some suggestions for how to fix those common listing suppression reasons and how to fix each one. So let's say when you're clicking into this, you see something that tells you there is incomplete or inaccurate product information. What this means is you're going to most likely have to update maybe the product description. You may need to update the images. A lot of times we see this happening with even the main image if they don't see it as complying with their main image guideline. Since the main image is always required, that could be something that's causing it. There could be attributes that you need to fill in on the back end of your listing that you previously didn't have, or there could be something with the variations that are happening to make sure you're meeting Amazon's current standards for that. Another reason when you're looking at your suppressed reason and the reason, if it says something about it's a pricing error, you're going to need to correct and fix kind of any information. Now, this could be because inside Seller Central, you have set your minimum price, let's say to $19.99. And if for whatever reason you accidentally bumped the price to $18.99, your listing will be suppressed because Amazon doesn't want to show it because they think that you only wanted to sell it for no less than $19.99. So that actually could be really easily fixed by making sure you're updating either your minimum price or update your actual price that you're selling it for so it's above that minimum. Now, you're not required inside Seller Central to put a minimum price, but if you have something in that column, that could be causing your issue. You also could be seeing something with the product condition discrepancy. So you want to make sure that your products are accurately represented in your listing. A lot of times you may want to look into your NCX, which is the negative customer experience, when you're looking at your account health, which we would recommend checking this every day just to make sure you're staying aware of any kind of issues. Because if people are receiving product and they keep saying that it looks like it's open or used and you're trying to sell it as new, that could cause the issue with your listing getting suppressed by Amazon. So if you are really actually selling it new, there could be something even where people are returning it and then it is actually, Amazon is not catching that it was opened, and then they're offering it as new still for you if you're using FBA, and that could actually cause some issues then. So you may want for Amazon to look into that further to see, okay, is this actually, what's getting returned to us is actually sellable still? Because if it's not, that could be causing you issues. Also, there could be some violations happening with Amazon's policies. Now, this you definitely would want to fix any kind of thing. Even sometimes Amazon thinks that things are prohibited or that you're not able to sell it. You want to look into this further because this can go even further than a suppressed listing to then them saying that this is a restricted product and also potentially even pulling down your listing completely where you'll see like detail page removed. So you'll just want to make sure there's no issues going on with your intellectual property rights, with the product that you're selling. Are all the ingredients allowed to be sold on Amazon? Typically for older listings, it's not going to all of a sudden change. So if you notice this happen, this could be that Amazon has wrongly classified it as being restricted and not able to sell on Amazon. You'll also want to look at quality and compliance issues, making sure that there's quality standards that you're meeting that Amazon requires. Everything is up to date for all the requirements that they, have. So just make sure that that's not the issue either. Like I said, that reason will kind of help you to dig into why. Typically, it's one of the first reasons is why we see it suppressed. Is it's usually there's information all of a sudden missing on the product that you just need to fill in, and by filling that information in, your listing will no longer be suppressed and it'll be fixed very quickly. Sometimes it is the pricing issue. It's less common for it to be the last few issues that I've mentioned. I would love to hear below though any kind of comments of reasons that you've seen maybe your product or a listing of yours get suppressed, and if you had any trouble dealing with that, please feel free to comment that below. Okay, now that you've addressed the issue, whatever it ended up being, whatever category, like I said, I try to hit most of the main categories that you're typically going to see. You're going to then submit the suppressed listings for either, fixing them or even reinstatement if there's an issue with the listing completely getting pulled. It depends on the severity of it. Typically, it's going to be just a matter of updating some product information that was missing and then having it looked at so it no longer gets suppressed. So that suppression essentially will get lifted from that listing so that when you're typing in different things on Amazon, your product and that listing will start appearing again. And if it is for whatever reason completely pulled down and they are requesting you to reinstate it, that's a more challenging issue. Make sure to keep an eye on the status of that to see and make sure it's properly reinstated if you think it should be sellable on Amazon. That may take a little bit more time for Amazon to review and reinstate. And if it's one of the easier issues, like there's just product information missing, you need to update the image, that typically, even within a few hours of updating it, can be showing again within searches on Amazon. And as a reminder, you should be regularly checking and monitoring your listings to make sure that there's no potential issues happening that could then lead to suppression. And you also want to make sure all of your product information is accurate, that your pricing is competitive where it should be, and that you're complying with Amazon's policies. That's just a good rule of thumb. And whenever that suppression issue is resolved, ultimately then your product will eventually be made visible and available for purchase on Amazon, which is where you want it to be. Something I didn't mention earlier that I want to give you a quick pro tip on too is if you ever notice there's pricing issues and you don't have any minimum pricing set set inside your Seller Central. This could be that Amazon has found elsewhere on the internet, on other online retailers, some of their major competitors. They may find that your product is getting sold for less somewhere else. And if they're seeing it's no longer a competitive price, they could then suppress your buy box, which is when you would go to the listing and you don't see that yellow add to cart button anymore. Now, for our clients in regards to like account health and listing suppressions, we actually like to check it daily. And that's what I would recommend you do throughout the week, is to check it to make sure that nothing is suppressed, because that will start hurting sales. And if you don't catch it quickly, it can start to add up. And also, you'll definitely want to pay attention if anything where the detail page is removed and Amazon gives you a strike for a listing policy violation that's more serious. You're going to want to handle that as soon as possible, because that is going to take a little bit more time to reinstate. Feel free to comment below or reach out to us at our email in the description box below if you have any issues with reinstatement and you need help with that, because that is something that we offer for people that need help specifically reinstating listings. So once your listing is finally fixed, hopefully it was a really simple, easy fix. Like I said earlier, normally it is, but once it's fixed and it's ready to go, the next thing you'll want to do is to download your Amazon search term reports. And you can analyze those to make sure that do you have the right keywords in your listings, and are you targeting the right keywords inside your Amazon ads? So if you haven't already done that, make sure to watch this next video here where I will dig into making sure how to check those Amazon search term reports so that you can be making your listing going further for you, not only organically, but also through your paid advertising.